Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I'm Christine. I'm glad you're here. Welcome to a Monat Opportunity Call. This time I'm going to react to people who are in Monat Australia and they're wanting to pitch the business opportunity to me and to you and to us. And I'm happy to take a look at that. Thank you to the person who pointed me into that direction, who said you should check that out. Thank you very much. It is very much appreciated. Thank you to all the people who watch my content, who have subscribed. I have seen a good amount of growth in this channel ever since I started in December, and I'm really grateful for that. So thank you so much also for all the people engaging in the comment section, etc. It is very much appreciated, and I'm surprised that so many people are interested in the content that I upload. So thank you. It was a surprise, or it is a surprise to me, but I appreciate it a lot. Having that said, if you would like to share something with me, like an opportunity call or a team call or content in general you would like me to react to, I will also have my email in the description box below. So if you have a screen recording of a call or of content you would like me to react to, then you can upload that to your Google Drive and share it with my email address. I'm also available on Instagram. If you want to, you can also DM me, and I will keep everybody anonymous who doesn't want to be mentioned. Thank you once again to the person who pointed me in the direction here, because this is my first time reacting to a Monat Australia Opportunity Call. I got up on the weekend really early because of the time difference, and this is what happened. On October 1st, 2021, Monat infested the continent of Australia with its pre-launch phase, and a month later, that is November 1st of 2021, Monat also opened the business up to customers. So the company has been live for a good amount of time now, for a year and a half, and people are pitching the opportunity to us, trying to make us believe that this is a great way to make a lot of money. So let's take a look. We will go through the opportunity call. I will give my commentary as I typically do. I will give my 2 cents, debunk misinformation. So let's get started with a Monat Opportunity Call, calling all the way from Australia.
Everyone that's jumped on today, which is super exciting. Obviously, I'm joined by it's obviously myself, and then I'm joined by Emily and Cass as well. So we've been running these businesses in and around our lives, and we're just really going to talk about, how we do that, how it's worked for us, and what this business has given us so far. I'm just going to, we'll hear from, some incredible stories, how Monat has changed people's lives, and it's changed a lot of lives within our team as well. We've had a lot of success within our team and these girls too. So I'll start off by just saying Monat is a lot different from a lot of other direct sales companies as well. There's no monthly minimums, there's no, monthly quotas or anything like that. So basically what that means is whatever you sell, you're going to get your commission from. A lot of the time, there's other direct sales companies where you have to sell at least, say, for example, 100 shampoo bottles to get, to start getting commission. This is literally, you sell one shampoo, you'll get paid for that bottle of shampoo as well. We have a gratitude program, which is really beautiful, and it gives back to the community as well. And then on top of that, we've got, our motor club. We've got girls in our team that are driving their Range Rovers now. They're on the road, and we're super excited for them to take this for a spin. And then on top of that, we've also got travel. So if you want to travel the world, or if there's girls that have had like 5 different trips that they're qualified for. We're off to Byron Bay in a couple of weeks, and then there's the Bahamas as well, which is all very exciting. But the other thing is, why we're doing this a lot of the time is for, financial reasons as well. And our compensation plan is unmatched. It's absolutely incredible. I think we get paid like 3 to 5% more than other direct sales companies. And it starts from, you don't have to be working in this business for a long period of time to get that return. It happens really quickly. And yeah, we've got Smart Start program and all that kind of stuff. So Monat do want you to succeed, and they make it very, achievable to do that as well.
There are no quotas and there is no minimum. I beg to differ, because if you want to sign up, You have to do that with a starter pack that is a minimum of, in this case, $370 Australian. Awesome. So that is a quota to me, and that is a minimum. If you want to join the company, you need to spend money. And the 370 Australian dollars one is the lowest package, is the least pricey package. That, in my opinion, is already a quota. You do have quotas. I will link everything down below, the compensation plan and also the income disclosure statement. But you do have quotas. You do have PV requirements. That is personal volume, and that is the product that you yourself sell or you yourself buy. Yes, you can buy your own personal volume. You don't get any commission if you don't fulfill your personal volume requirements. And it has been alleged to me that lots of people are being enticed to purchase their own products if they want to keep a rank or hit a rank. While that might not be a requirement, the PV is a requirement. So you need to either purchase or sell a certain amount of PV points, a certain amount of product every single month. Let's take a look at the compensation plan to also show you the other requirements and the other minimum you have to hit if you want to hit a certain rank, if you want to make a certain amount of money, or if you want to be able to participate in the potential of making some money in Monat. This is Monat's Australia compensation plan. It looks oddly familiar, very, very similar, if not identical, to the compensation plan in the other territories. And everything that you see under qualifications are quotas and their minimums you have to fulfill. That's the PV requirement I spoke about. For market partners, it is 200 PV points, 300 if you rise in the ranks, up to 500. That is a requirement. You have to have a certain amount of active lines. If you want to hit just the second rank from the bottom, the managing market partner one, you have to have 2 people on your team. And then in addition to that, you have an additional requirement, and that is the group volume, meaning that you and your team must hit a group volume of 1,200 GV. And as you rise in the ranks, you have more quotas and you have more minimums that you have to fulfill. So I would beg to differ that there is no minimum and no quotas you have to fulfill. We hear that a lot in lots of MLMs and lots of MLM pitches, but it is still false, also in Monat Australia. Then she also says that if you want to travel the world, you can join Monat, and that will all happen. In a couple of weeks, they're going to Byron Bay. I believe that was in May. Byron Bay is a beautiful place in Australia. I've been there before the last time I was in Australia, but it is an incentive trip. It is Monat Australia's version of Reunion. I have a video where I reacted to the US equivalent in Las Vegas, where they held their Monat Reunion and where they typically hold their US version of Reunion. It's an incentive trip, and you have to hit certain ranks in order to be able to participate there. You have to sell a certain amount of product in order to participate in that. So it's not just you traveling the world. In the Bahamas, traveling to Bahama is also considered a leadership trip. So it is even less likely for people to be able to participate in those trips, least of all in the leadership trips. And why am I mentioning that? Because Monat Reunion 2023 was also featured heavily, I'm going to include this here as well, by the Monat reps in Australia. Like I said, you have to sell a certain amount of product to be able to attend this. You also have to hit the second lowest rank, which means that you must recruit, you must be able to build a team of people so that you're eligible for this trip. And it has been alleged to me that some of the people that actually attended Reunion in Byron Bay, they had to travel a long time. Monat typically pays the flight and also the stay there, and depending on the tier you hit, you might also get a certain bonus towards drinks and towards food. But the trip they give you is a trip where you could pretty much be on the road for hours, because they're going to book the least pricey flights for you and not necessarily the direct flights. So none of that is as sexy as lots of people try to make it sound. In addition to that, she also speaks about people who are able to hit the motor club rank and who are eligible to participate in the car program. I have an entire deep dive on the Monat Motor Club car program. It's a mini deep dive. I will link everything down below. It's an entire deep dive playlist now with 3 videos if you want to check it out. And it is the same for Australia. You have to hit the MM rank, the market mentor rank, if you want to be eligible for the car payments. And you are eligible for a certain amount towards the down payment of the car and also a monthly allowance that may or may not cover the expenses you have when it comes to the car, because the car is in your name. It's not a company car, it's not free. And if you lose that rank, if you drop in rank, you are also the one who's stuck with the payment of the car because it's in your name. You're responsible for it. I might react specifically to the Byron Bay get-together at some other point, but Monat took the opportunity to also honor the people that were able to hit the founder's share or the founder's rank within the company. And if you take a look at this picture, Monat has been live now for 1.5 years in Australia. And there is a total of 6 people who were able to be considered founders. If you hit the MM rank, you're also eligible for founder's share. It's not as sexy as it sounds. It's also not as great of an opportunity as it sounds. It just means if you hit that rank and if you keep that rank, you're eligible to participate in the retail commission, in 1% of the retail commission from Monat in your territory. Since only 6 people were able to hit this, it tells me that Monat is not a great opportunity in Australia, and that it's also a very, very small organization there. So the money you're able to make is very few to none. And these, by the way, are also the people that have hit the MM rank that are eligible for the car program. Now, granted, it could be that more people have hit that rank, but they haven't hit the founder share rank because they dropped in rank. There could be different circumstances. They could have hit the MM rank car program and the founder share program after this time period that you have to hit those. But this doesn't look like a great opportunity. So potentially at the moment, Australia, who has been live for 1.5 years, has 6 people who are now eligible for the founder share and who drive Cadillacs. That is very, very pitiful to see. And that tells me that Monat Australia is not a great opportunity if you join it. It has also been alleged to me that one of the people that is speaking on this call has been bragging on their Instagram, that their upline and the person that recruited them personally as well, that they're 1 rank away from hitting the car program rank. And that was months ago. So it sounds like it is not that easy. And it sounds like Monat Australia is just like Monat all over the world. Things sound great. Hit a certain rank and you will get a car. But the requirements are rather rough. You want to become a founder? Well, 6 people out of I don't know how many in Monat in Australia were able to hit that rank, but you need to keep it as well. So Monat being live for 1.5 years doesn't produce a lot of success stories. And I don't want to be an asshole here, because if you're able to be a founder or if you're able to participate in the car program, it still means that you must have achieved the minimum and the requirements, and that is a lot. It is really, really hard to do, but it just tells me that the business opportunity that Monat has to offer is slim to none. And the people that were not able to hit those ranks, that are not able to rank up, that are not able to sell products, that are not able to recruit enough people, they're not doing that because they're not capable, because they're not good business people, because they're not working hard enough. It is the MLM business model that is set up for them to not financially succeed. Apparently 6 in Australia. They're the only ones who are profiting. The people at the bottom, they have to join the system to then pay into the system so that the few people at the top are able to make some money off of the back of the people in their downline. And even with a country that has launched not too long ago, like I said, 1.5 years, doesn't seem that this opportunity is that great. We're talking about 6 people. Also take a look at the setup. This looks sad. This looks small. This looks like nothing. Monat was able to launch in an entire continent. It looks like a school play, like a school theater. I do not expect Monat Australia's events to be as big and to be as grand as Las Vegas. Although if you've seen the video, I also believe that the Las Vegas reunion wasn't as flashy, it wasn't as packed, it wasn't as full as other reunions were. So I think it's a sign that Monat is struggling, even in its own motherland, the United States, where they launched first. But this is just pitiful. It's not a great opportunity, and I would say don't get fooled by the flashy Instagram pictures. This doesn't look like a good opportunity.
So I'm going to actually pass it on to Cassie now, and we're going to go through and we'll talk about little bits and pieces about, Monat and what it's done for us as well. So off you go, Cass.
Okay, hi everyone. I am Cassie. I've been doing this business for about 8 months now, and it has changed my life already in so many in so many ways. But I'll go back. I decided to start Monat because I was just coming out of mat leave for my second boy, because I've got 2 young boys, and I just wanted to remain a stay-at-home mum. I just didn't want to miss any milestones or anything, and then just grow up so quickly. So that's one of the reasons why. But also my hair was just, it was nasty. I was using Olaplex for 18 months prior, and my hair was snapping. It was damaged. It was fried. It was very unhappy. I had postpartum hair loss, and it was just limp, dull, and lifeless, really. So I just really needed to try something different, and I just thought, well, there's no harm in trying, because my hair was crap anyway. And with no risk attached to the business, with no fees or quotas or cancellation or anything like that, I was like, okay, well, I'll just give it a whirl, especially with the 30-day money back guarantee. So that's that. And then my third reason also was because I owned my own beauty salon previously, and I was working massive hours and bringing in a decent income, and then to become a stay-at-home mum and then not bring in anything. I just had that, I suppose, guilt, which I know I shouldn't, but some guilt in not helping my husband out with financial things. So I just wanted to help out financially. So now, after 8 months, about 6 months in, I replaced my full-time income, which is incredible, with no outlay. Like, it was just the original outlay of $375, and then everything else has been profit since. So it's just incredible. And I just get to work it around my kids. So I usually put up a story or something in the morning, and it'll be something very simple, very basically, but like I'm taking a video of my coffee, or me putting some makeup on, or washing my face in the morning. And then when my boys are napping, I might jump on and make a reel or something like that, and then I might do a live or something overnight when they're in bed. So yeah, so that's pretty much me. And I just want one big thing that I want to mention for me, that I've really noticed in myself, and what everyone else has noticed in myself, is my personal growth. I didn't even expect, to, I guess, achieve that in this business, but you do put yourself out there at the end of the day, and it is scary at the start, but confidence comes after action. And at the end of the day, no one else is paying my bills, so I put myself out there, and I faced the fear, and now I just feel I feel like I can take on anything, really. And that's about me. We'll go
That's
back to Henley now.
beautiful. Yeah.
She said that her life changed after she joined Monat. But she joined Monat some 8 months ago. How much is your life going to change in that period of time? I find that rather difficult to believe, to be honest. And she says that the products, they're super great, but if you don't like them, you have a 30-day money guarantee. So if you don't like it, you send the product back and you're good to go. So she's pretty much saying you have nothing to lose. And I would disagree with that. Let's take a look at the requirements, what you have to do, and in what state the products have to be like if you want to take advantage of this 30-day money back guarantee from Monat. I have to put on my glasses for this end again. Let's take a look at the return and refund policies for market partners. So if you have purchased product pack, the least pricey, over 370 Australian dollars, you will be able to get a full refund of the purchase price. That is what this says, but you will also have to pay the shipping and the handling. So you will not get 100% back in any way, shape, or form, because you are responsible for sending it back, and you have to pay for the shipping. That is if you return within 30 days. If you return after 30 days after the initial delivery date, you get 90% back. If you ordered returns after 90 days after the initial delivery date, you will not be refunded the purchase price. So in no way, shape, or form will you ever be able to get the full price back just because you have to handle the shipping and the handling fees. In addition to that, further minimums, I'm going to harp on this, apply if you want to return this. It says on how to return your order that returns on items eligible for returns are accepted within 90 days of receipt. Items must be returned unopened, unused in their original packaging. To return product for a refund, you must return the products directly to Monat and follow the steps listed below. So if your products are used or if they're opened, you might not get your money back. It is not that great of a return opportunity because if you want to be a market partner, it is expected of you to try the product. So within the first 30 or 90 days, you want to return these, but if you already used it up, you will not get your money back, or at least not your full price. But it sounds like in this case, you might not get it back at all. Although it has been alleged to me, if you want to get out of this, I don't know if this is true or not, if you claim that the products were harmful to your head, if they were harmful to your hair and your scalp, the likelihood of you getting a full refund, no matter what, they're greater. Like I said, I cannot confirm that, but we know that Monat has been in deep shit when it comes to lawsuits, and I assume that they would like to avoid further confrontation there. She also says that she was able to replace a full income after the 8 month in Monat. I think I'm lacking some information there because how much money did you make before? What is a full income? A full income could be $500 because you were working a certain amount and that is a full income to you, or it could be a full income of what is considered a full income to somebody who works a regular job, a certain amount of hours in a month, who gets a certain salary. If she ran her own beauty salon before, she wasn't employed as well, she was self-employed. That is yet again another picture. So be careful when you hear those statements. I would ask more questions if this is really an interesting opportunity to you and if somebody makes statements such as these. In addition to that, I would also like to add that none of these women who are speaking on this call are at the the market mentor rank, the rank that is so essential within Monat. It is the one where you're able to participate in the CAR program and where you're also able to participate in the founders share, where you're able to participate in these. And none of these women have posted anything about them participating. And since this is a strong promotional argument, they must be at the ANTIMLM rank or lower. Let's take a look at Monat's US income disclosure for 2021. That is the one currently available as I'm filming this video. And let's see what people who are at the ANTIMLM rank might make. It's not perfect math. I know we're talking about the US compensation plan, but then again, Monat only has compensation plans up for the US and for Canada, and not for any of the other territories that have been live for way over a year. That in itself is also not fishy at all. Not at all. No, not fishy. I do not know at what rank these women are at, and I also didn't do an in-depth research, but if you were at the market mentor rank, you would be awarded the founder share or you would be eligible for the CAR, and then their social media profiles would have told us that. So they must be at the ANTIMLM rank or lower. And if we take a look at the US income disclosure statements, it tells us that the median annual gross earnings for people in the United States in 2021 who were able to hit that rank, they made a median annual gross earnings of $17,500. That is before taxes, that is before expenses. And let's say that the compensation plan is an equivalent to what people are able to make in Australia. I would argue that you're not able to substitute a full income. And I would argue that that is not life-changing money. She has also described what her days look like. So pretty much whenever she's not busy with the children, she's preparing content for her social media. What she has left out is that she has to reach out to people. She has to be on opportunity calls like this. They also have regular team calls. And they're also traveling to Byron Bay to the reunion trip, which she was apparently eligible for. But then again, you also have to pay certain things on that trip yourself. It's not fully covered. So an income of $17,000 something, and like I said, I'm aware it's not perfect math. Assuming that these women are at the highest next rank, that would be the ANTIMLM, is not a lot of money, especially if you think how much time and how much effort goes into producing the content, pitching this to people, etc., whether it is considered your full-time job or whether you do that on the side. So it doesn't sound like a life-changing situation to me after 8 months. And adding to that, and once again, I want to be very clear, I'm not trying to tear these women down by saying, you haven't achieved this, you haven't achieved that. I'm just trying to show how hard it is to actually fulfill the claims that these people themselves make, their uplines make, and the company as well make. Let's take a look at how you can become an Australia Monat founder using my classes again. It is in their Q&A section. Monat Australia's FAQs, like most documentation where it actually comes to the secret sauce, the things that you want to know. They're not in one full document. You have to click through links and extra FAQs, otherwise you won't get the whole picture. How can a new market partner in Australia qualify for the Asia Pacific Founders Pool? To register in Monat in Australia, enroll between the 1st and the 31st of November 2021 for the opportunity to earn 2 shares. If you enroll between November 1st and October 31st, 2022, you have the opportunity to earn 1 share. So if you are able to join very early in the pre-launch phase, you're able to earn 2 shares. If you join the month later when Monat has opened already up to customers, then you're able to earn 1 share. October 2020 is long forgone, and like I said, none of these 3 ladies that are trying to pitch us this business opportunity are at that rank. They're not at the MM rank. They're not eligible for the founder share. And just 6 women out of all the Monatons in Australia were able to do, as we saw in their reunion in Byron Bay. It also states in the FAQ that you achieve the paid as rank of market mentor within the time frame above, which is a year shortly after the launch of Australia. You're able to become an Asia Pacific founder. That means that none of these women that we see here were able to do that. So they're pitching something and we're talking about something that they themselves have not achieved yet. And they will never achieve it because the founder share for Australia is closed. If you were able to join in the beginning and you were able to hit that rank and keep that as a paid as rank, which means you don't drop it in the rank, then you might get a certain percentage of that founder share, but you can also lose that very quickly. Monat Australia is not a great business opportunity, and I think it is rather easy to see when you take a look behind the scenes. All of this documentation from Monat is publicly available, and if you're ever interested in that, I would encourage you to take a look at that yourself.
Yeah. Beautiful, Cass. That was so good. And it's so inspiring. Obviously we know each other on a personal level as well. And I've even seen, how you've just, I don't know, you come out of your own, and it's just been incredible. So, yeah, amazing. Well done. Emily.
I would agree, Cassie. Like, we talked probably first time a few months ago, and even just your confidence in the way you speak now. Like, and again, we don't know each other personally, but for me, the self-doubt in this business, or self-doubt personally, was my biggest driver for doing it. And so the whole time when I first started, and even now, most of the things I talk around are the self-doubt, which is really funny because it's still hard to believe that a business model like this actually can help with that, because it was one of those things where I never wanted to do it. I never wanted to step into it. I thought it was going to hinder everything for me, if I'm being completely honest, because, so I should probably go background, Emily, single mum, and I have 3 girls. So one is about to turn 14, one is about to turn 12, and one is 8.5. And so 3 females, 2 coming into one in their teens. Completely honestly, I don't really want to be at home with them all the time, but I do love them to death. Like, I really do. But when I became a single mum, and that was 2.5 years ago, it was really hard for me. Similar to what Cassie said, I am running my own business, cosmetic tattooing, hair, beauty. And I had to find a way to hold on to my house, to pay for everything for my children, to put food on the table. And my biggest fear was that I wasn't going to be able to do that. And I would cry about that at a drop of a hat. Like, it was really, really a very very real thing for me to have to face. But now 10 months on into this business, and that was really the only reason I said yes. I mean, I tried the products April last year because I had really fine, limp, crappy hair. I'm going to say, like similar to Cass, we just jump in to try it for the hair. My coach actually was using it and I was like, well, I trust her, so I'm going to give it a crack. And I loved the hair products. And then come June, we talked about the business side of things, and I thought, well, again, I don't have anything to lose at this point, and I want to make some extra money.
And that is why MLMs and MLM tactics are predatory, because this is the best example, because they're preying on vulnerable people. If you are a single mom of 3 and you have to take the financial burden on your very own shoulders, and you have to balance running your own business, and you have to balance the family, the emotional stress, etc., that is difficult, and I have mad respect for that. People don't join MLMs because they're happy, and that is really, really shitty. Whoever recruited her into Monat probably took advantage of those vulnerabilities, and I hate to see that. I hate to see when people are being taken advantage of. It's an absolute no-go, and it is disgusting in my opinion, but that is typical business practice in MLMs. Not just specifically to Monat, not just specifically to Monat Australia. That is not okay. So you pretty much pitched this to a vulnerable woman who had to take care of her 3 daughters. Great move to the person who recruited her, and to Monat, who allows these business practices. In addition to that, I find it very difficult that self-doubt is supposed to be a business driver. I doubted myself. That's why I did this. It's what the woman before also said. If you have self-doubt, joining an MLM is probably the least thing you want to do, because the likelihood of you succeeding there financially, emotionally, are slim to none. The majority of people will not make money. They will lose money. And if you build up your hopes based on such a finicky business, then your self-doubt will probably not be healed, but it will get worse and worse. With no fault of your own, but because of a system that is predatory. That's disgusting. That is really disgusting to see. That's also one of the reasons why I continue to do these videos. In the very beginning, I watched videos and I thought, so what's the big deal? Don't join an MLM. But when you take a look behind the scenes and when you see what is happening and how people are being preyed upon and how their vulnerabilities are being used and abused, then that is infuriating to see. So shame on you, Monat.
So I couldn't physically work any more hours in my business because I had to pick my children up from school every day. And I also wanted to pick my children up every day from school. I didn't want to rely on after school care and things like that. That also cost me money. So I want to still run my business because I love helping women in that space. I love building confidence in women, but I wanted to be there for my kids after school and do all of those things and have all of the adventures. But what hit me really hard was I was working really hard to just work really hard, and I didn't want the rest of my life to look like that. So, wow, that still really does hit. So with this business, 10 months in, well, even after the first 4 months, actually, the first 4 months, I got my first bonus check. So in this business, you get paid 4 times a month in your commissions, and then you get a bonus check. And you also get Smart Start for your first 3 months, where you can just really go hard. So like Cassie said, you have your first initial payment, which at the moment is sort of sitting around that 240, 280 mark with the sale, but roughly 320, 375. And I made that back in spades. And then I got my first really, really good bonus, and I put it aside to pay for my first trip to Ireland. So my goal was to start traveling and having adventures, and I managed to secure that within 4 months in this business. And now what I used to pull out of my business as a hobby figure that was supporting my husband's wage in our home, I'm now pulling from Monat plus some and running my business. So it's now I'm basically a 2-person income family on my own without having to work extra. I actually take an extra day off in my bricks and mortar business now as well, so that I can start working towards new goals that I have for myself. And the only reason I have those new goals for myself is because of this business. And I truly believe that because of like the likes of Hanley and Cassie, and holy crap, I'm going to cry, because these girls, I don't actually know them, but they're always there. And it sounds too good to be true. Like, I really, really understand that on the other side of the screen, it sounds too good to be true, but it's really not. Like, these people make you accountable. You start to find that you hold yourself more accountable and you keep showing up. So yeah, I'm really excited. I can't wait to head to Byron Bay. I'm almost there for the free trip for Bahamas, and these are things that I just didn't realize were possible to do. So I feel like there was a lot more I should have said in this, but hopefully I've covered off on most of the things today.
It is very confusing and very sad for me to see that somebody who doesn't know any of the other people who promised them probably the life of their dreams, that they're building their hopes on what total strangers promised them. It has been alleged to me that the person who just spoke, that she runs a successful small business in a small town in Queensland. And I mean, of course, nobody really knows until you have the ability to have a look at the back end, at the books, etc. But it was alleged to me that she was running a business that was doing rather well. She had a good reputation from the town she is living in, and that she's running a brow tattoo studio. And she says that her business works so well, etc., that she was able to supplement the income of the partner that is not in her life anymore, and that she's now able to put money aside to save money for her first traveling to Ireland. It has also been alleged to me that she recruited her employees, the people that work in her business, and that she pitches Monat relentlessly to customers. And I think that that in itself is very, very dangerous, because I think that doing this could damage your actual income and it could damage your actual business. You have recruited your own employees, and you and your employees will very likely heavily pitch this to people who want to come in, who want to get their brows done. But what if people are not interested in Monat? I wouldn't want to go to a brow studio where I know that MLMers will very likely try to pitch me either the products or the business opportunity. And when I have the feeling that I have to constantly fight you off, although I like the brow service you provide, I don't want to do that, because I will either get ugly and I will tell you to fuck off, or I will simply try to avoid this and just not come to the brow studio anymore. In addition to that, what happens if your employees want to stop working their Monat business? Are you still going to be employer and employee then? What is happening there? I have a feeling that all of this is built on very, very wobbly legs, especially if you come from a smaller town and not from a big city. But even then, if your customers are not interested in your Monat business, they might avoid you. That might not come to you that often anymore, understandably, because who wants to be pitched this all the time? I'm not in that store. I'm not seeing their pitches, granted. I'm making a lot of assumptions again. But I would argue you starting your Monat business is something that would be rather harmful to your actual business.
That's beautiful, Em. Thank you so much, and thank you guys for just, for just saying it how it is. It's, we're all human and we feel, vulnerable at times, and to get on here is kind of nerve-wracking, but we're out here putting ourselves out here, and just it is an incredible business, and I am just so grateful. I'm going to start crying, but I'm just so incredibly grateful for jumping in and giving it a really hot crack, red hot crack. I was scared, I was petrified, and I thought about it for a while. I've watched a lot of journeys and things like that as well, but a lot of us, we don't have social media training. We don't have big followings or anything like that. There's training there. When we join a team, like when you join a team and you join a team like ours, we have, we've got this amazing upline and, people that have done this before us that have paved the way, and they've really just given this incredible blueprint that we just literally follow. It's like a roadmap to success. And if you follow that, and if you are coachable and really give it a go, it can change your life. So for my personal experience with Monat, like I said, I watched a lot of journeys and I wanted to have what I was seeing. I jumped in scared and I really just hit the ground running. I did the do, and I did the things that scared me. I wasn't someone that could go out and, be in a group and people that I don't know and talk to them. I was really quite reserved in that respect. And I think I lost a lot of my confidence as a mom, and just not putting myself out there and challenging myself. I was really just within my comfort zone for a long period of time, and that's also okay. But I was also ready to, you know, do more. You know, I felt that, you know, that I was lacking that kind of, you know, spring in my step, you know. So when I did join with Smart Start, and obviously this community, and we're led and by incredible people, I just really, you know, saw that personal development and, you know, that momentum. And since then, you know, I was a nurse, and my Monat income actually out-earned my nursing income. And that wasn't my goal. That wasn't a goal at all. I didn't see, I literally joined this business just to get a couple of extra $100 a week. And if I could get my money back from my product pack, then that was like my initial goal. But that happened within the first couple of weeks. Like, it's crazy. And now at the moment, Emily touched on it, it's usually, I think I bought it at $320. It's usually $370 to start your business, which still is insane to start a business. But now at the moment, until midnight tonight, it's $280. So that's absolutely amazing. So you'll get a return pretty quickly if you know, give it a really good go. And yeah, I was able to quit my job, and now I literally pour into our family business, and I pour into our family. So I'm here with I've got 3 children. But yeah, like, we're all busy, but we're trained to work in 15-minute blocks. So we fit this in and around our lives. We've got posting schedules, we've got things to, like, a business launch to get you up and running. So you're not alone. We've got Monday night, we've got meetings on a Monday night, which, you know, just really hit things that we need more training in, or if there's people that are having issues with something or that need more help. So you're not alone in this business. There are so many people. This community is honestly nothing like I've ever experienced before in my entire life. And yeah, the people that we're surrounded by are just so inspiring. So in turn, it lifts you up. It really does. But at the end of the day, if you want change, if you want something, you know, that's going to give you all these things, then, like, nothing's going to change if nothing changes. You really just have to, you know, look at like the risk, and that's what I did. And I just didn't want to have any regrets. I literally just wanted to, you know, give it a shot. There was no contract, no risks. There's no, you know, like I said, there's no monthly fees or monthly quotas or anything like that. You don't have to put any more finances into this business if you don't want to. So literally your product pack is the only amount that you need to spend. So you've got nothing to lose. So if you do it, and just say, like, worst case scenario, you decide that you don't want to do it, then you walk away with, you know, beautiful products, incredible hair and skin. And then, but what if, you know, on the other side, what if you do try it and it literally changes your life? I'm now, like I said, you know, I don't work, you know, the 9 to 5. I'm able to give back to my family, and yeah, which is just insane. We're literally we're a rank away from the car club too, and even that in itself, like, is insane. I just didn't think that this would be, you know, for me, or something that I can achieve. I don't have a hair background. I'm not a hairdresser, and a lot of us aren't. There are a lot of hairdressers that are in our team with amazing, you know, that have been doing this for, like, you know, 15, 20 years, being hairdressers, and they swear by the products. But you don't need to do that. We teach you everything. There's Market Partner Academy, and there's training after training. You just really have to, you know, jump in scared and give it a red hot crack. But that's really my story in a nutshell. And yeah, with Monat as well, it's just been amazing. It's been incredible. Does anyone else have anything to add to that before we come off and ask for any questions?
Yes, I have something to add. First of all, if you live in Australia and you know how much a nurse makes within a year, please feel free to comment down below, because this sounds to me like I don't want to say a hot crack lie, but it sounds that she just inflated the business opportunity and her success to the millionth degree. She just confirmed that neither she nor the two other women are at the car rank, that is the MM rank. So my assumption was correct, that they're at the AMM rank. And if we consider with the US compensation plan, and the United States are typically financially and when it comes to the rewards in a way, way better situation than all of the other territories. There are only 2 income disclosures available, and that is in the US and in Canada. And we can see that the Canada income disclosure statement sucks compared to the US one. I can only imagine what it looks like in the other territories. So the United States are kind of the peak of what you can achieve, I would assume. And let's say they're making about an equivalent, which is annually $17,000 US as an equivalent to them in Australia. I doubt that she was able to substitute her income as a nurse within a couple of weeks. Because if she was able to make $16,000 or an equivalent to that within a couple of weeks, then she would be way, way, way higher up. If you know how much a nurse makes in Australia, please let me know. I think that's a bunch of lies. No, she's inflating the business opportunity. I don't believe that for a second. In addition to that, she also is pretty much checking all of the boxes, in my opinion. None of us had a social media following. I looked it up. The women on this call who are running this call, they all have followers between 1,500 at the lowest up to a little bit over 2,500 on Instagram. That is not shitty. When I started my YouTube channel, I had a following of 50 people on Instagram. That at this point now has almost doubled. And I'm not good at Instagram. I'm not posting a lot. I'm not a lot interested in it. But I think that happened just because of YouTube. Of course, because people were checking that out. Other content creators were shouting me out. And then that can, of course, be helpful. But that is me. I'm just saying this to give you a certain counter perspective. 1,500 followers and up is not too shabby. In addition to that, all of these are 3 attractive white women who know how to express themselves and who have a good amount of following on Instagram. And if they're not even able to hit the MM rank in a new territory where Monat launches within the first year, they're not able to hit the motor club, allegedly substituting their own income, it will be so much harder for others. Let's keep that in mind. In addition to that, I would like to point out that even 3 women with upwards of 1,500 followers, they're running an opportunity call, which happened on a Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. in Australia. These women are running an opportunity call with 4 to 6 people joining. 3 of these people being the ladies themselves that are presenting this. I'm not pointing this out to be an asshole. I'm pointing this out to show what the reality of being in a multi-level marketing company could look like. You being on a call on a Sunday when you could enjoy your free time with your family, with your children, maybe with your spouse that you love so much, yet you are on an opportunity call with 4 to 6 people. And I want to be very, very clear. If I were to announce I'm going live, there would probably be a total of 3 people. Myself, my ego, and my shadow. It would be an exclusive round, granted. But this is reality in multi-level marketing companies. It is not the flashy reels. It is not the flashy lives. It is not the great awards. It is not standing on that small stage in Byron Bay announcing the 6 founders that made it in Monat, well, that were actually able to hit that rank and then that need to keep that rank. This is very likely reality. And like I said, I'm not pointing this out to be an asshole and to make fun of these people. This could be a reality if you joined Monat. There were tops 6 people on this call on a Sunday. Then she has also repeated that there is no contract, no risk, and no monthly quota. You will be encouraged to spend a lot of money in Monat. You have to replenish the products you've used. After you do the hair care, you also need to venture into the skin care and into the wellness products. There are a lot of risks attached to that, and you will spend a lot of money, although the compensation plan might only require you to spend 200, 300, 400, or 500 on PV if you're not able to sell enough products. There are so many risks attached. First of all, no contract. Yes, you have to sign a market partner agreement. That is a contract. No risks? Yes, lots of risks. You could make a complete fool of yourself when you post on social media. You could lose a lot of money, you could lose relationships, you could lose friendships, and ultimately you could lose yourself because you turn into a version of yourself that you don't really like much. And if you ever leave the company, you might recognize that, but it might not be that recognizable while you're in the company. So there's a lot to lose, in my opinion.
Can I quickly, because I didn't write anything down and I just jumped in and blurbed and got all emotional because that's what I do. But what you touched on was the business side of things and the hairdresser side of things. So for anyone who is watching that is from a business side and being scared to use the products or bring them into an existing business or is not sure if they perform or anything like that, I guess what I want to say to that is having this business in a box, so getting that and not having to pay anymore. Oh my God, Hanley, I just realized I did not record this. I did not take it off pause.
It's okay.
No worries, I recorded the entire thing.
That just means we'll do another one, babe. Don't
We're just
worry.
gonna do it straight. We just do it again straight away. Oh my God. I'm just gonna I'm so angry
This
at
meeting is being
myself.
recorded.
So back into the business side of things though. What has this done for my business? Now, I have not talked about this before because I don't like talking about me actually, is this business, by the training that's been brought on with it, I've brought that back into my bricks and mortar business. And I have actually increased my turnover in my other business by 300% in the last 10 months. So that's insane. And that's not including the revenue from Monat. Like that's separate. Monat revenue is separate. But what that's done, it's because I've had to show up differently and more organized and more structured and all of those things. So that is the first thing. But secondly, I was really scared to bring that product into my business because I had built a reputation within my business for 15 years. And I didn't want to lose my clients because I brought an MLM product into a business that was already standing. So from that point of view, I just wanted to throw that in here. Which is kind of null and void because I forgot to record. So should we do another loop and just show it how it's really real? Because
Oh, babe. No, we'll just have to do it another time. But, you know, there's people on here that are watching and listening and, you know, I'm sure they've got stuff from it as well. So absolutely don't stress.
Does anybody have any questions at all? They want to come off mute. No.
If you do have questions and you don't feel comfortable, you know, I totally understand. And, you know, if there's anything else that you want answered, just reach out to the person that sent you this link and they'll be able to happily answer it for you, or loop back to us if there's anything quite specific. But yeah, our team is absolutely on fire. We are the largest, fastest growing team in America and Australia. And yeah, there's everything that's been put in place for success. Like I said, that blueprint and that roadmap. We've got the great community and the trainings and everything. But yeah, this has just been a wild ride, and it's just really the beginning, you know.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
All right. Well, if there is no questions, and Hanley, I think you wrapped that up well, we will close this one out and say thank you.
Thank you very much for joining, everyone.
Bye.
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 Barbara. First of all, I've recorded the entire thing, no worries. I think it can happen. You're on a business call, on an opportunity call. You forget to press the record button. That's human, that's normal, that's fine. And in addition to that, why would you want to record this specific call? Was it that inspirational? I don't necessarily think so. There was not a lot of news and there was not a lot of information spread that I would call inspirational or factual. If this is the fastest growing team in the US and Australia, then Monat is not doing well. This was a call, an opportunity call, with top 6 people, 3 of them being the speakers. This is reality in one of Monat Australia and US's most largest successful growing teams. Gute Nacht, Marie. Monat is not doing well. I wouldn't be surprised if they're closing down tomorrow, when hopefully Monat France also tells them no. I think there was a lot of inflation of the business opportunity, a lot of emotional manipulation, a lot of claims that I cannot follow from my perspective, because I don't understand how you can work on your self-esteem, how you can work on yourself by joining an MLM, and how that is supposed to help your very own business. If you're able to recruit the people that work for you, I think you have a jump start. If you invite your customers into taking a look at that as well, it might be very beneficial in the beginning, but how sustainable is that? I would say if you join an MLM, that will tarnish your reputation, and it will tarnish the reputation of your actual job, where you have to show certain skills, where you are actually running your own business, where you have employees, where you have customers. You might ruin that with joining a multi-level marketing company. And that is upsetting to see, because if somebody worked towards building their own brow business for 15 years, then this is not a great opportunity. And like I said, who joins multi-level marketing companies? Not people that are happy, not people that are financially stable, not people that live a fulfilled life. And they have shared to some degree why. Financial reasons. They wanted a community, being a mother of children, looking for a community of people to connect to. And also 2 of these ladies knew each other before, so you're pretty much just recruiting your friends. So it's a no for me, Monat Australia. And I still find it very, very upsetting that Monat launched in Australia and also in New Zealand. I've never been to New Zealand before, but Australia truly is one of my favorite places in the world that I have seen so far, together with Sweden and Norway. Yeah, there's a lot of variation happening there, but it makes me sad to see, especially having been to Byron Bay before myself. I can only imagine wanting to make holidays there, and then there is an infestation of Monat Huns in Byron Bay. Yikes. What did you think about this opportunity? Looking behind the scenes, also discussing the achievements of the individual people here. It doesn't sound that flashy anymore. I do hope that these people are also able to snap out of this before Monat might actually harm their existing businesses and their existing relationships and their existing connections, because Monat is not a sustainable thing. Lifting the veil and looking behind the curtain, I think, is very important, because it does take away from the dreamy non-reality a lot of MLM reps will try to push on its viewer and on the people they're on opportunity calls with, hoping to sell them a product or hoping to pitch them. So if you see a Monat Hun, run the other way, close your laptop, throw your phone into the river, and say bye-bye to that forever. Please don't throw your phone in the river. It's probably not that great for the environment, but you know what I'm saying. It's a no for me, Monat. It's a no for me, Monat Australia. If you like these types of videos, please consider subscribing. If you like this specific one, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to let me know something, please comment down below. And if you have content you would like to share with me, please either DM me on Instagram, or you can also screenshot and screen record content and then give me access to your Google Drive. My email is listed down below now as well. And if you like this specific video, then hopefully I will see you in my next one. Until then, tschüss!